Good evening and welcome to NewsCenter. I'm Kyle McKenzie.
And I'm Shelby Steele. This is your news for April 5th, 2012.
Morehead State Public Radio will be kicking off its spring fundraiser and membership drive from April 14th through 20th. NewsCenter's Hardy Breeding has more on the story.
Saturday, April 14th will kickstart MSPR's Spring Fund Drive. Like the fundraiser in the fall, MSPR will be asking for donations from the public that go to funding MSPR's award-winning shows. NewsCenter spoke with the general manager.
We do this twice a year. We do it once in the spring and once in the fall. And we've been fundraising on the air for probably 15 to 20 years. We've been on the air since 1965. Up until that point, we relied solely on limited financial support from the university and then also from the Corporation for Public Broadcasting. And then we realized that we need to hear from our listeners so that they have a vested interest into what we do. And we do this twice a year, very similar to what you might see on public television, or maybe another like call-in program to raise money for a particular cause or event.
Hitchcock later discussed MSPR's CD sale and other events beneficial to the station.
They are about equal, the success rate on both the fall and the spring. We do different things in the spring than in the fall. In the fall we have an online auction, and we only have that once a year, where people can place bids on certain items and they receive those items if they're the highest bidder. In the spring we have a CD sale where we basically clean out our closets and go through our CDs, and once a year that's a kind of a rite of spring where we clean everything out. So that's a different event.
Even though times are tough, Hitchcock has high aspirations for this year's fundraiser.
Our goals financially, we'd like to raise $30,000. We would also like to hear from we hope to maybe 750 members, 750 individual listeners who can call us up. We broadcast to 20 counties in the region. We do realize that a few of the counties that we broadcast to are struggling because of the recent tornado events in the past month. So we realize, some listeners will really have a hard time helping us out this time, but we understand. We will be advertising our spring fundraiser membership drive through traditional media, newspaper. Of course, we're broadcasting it on 90.3 FM. We're also using Facebook and Twitter to give updates on our event. And word of mouth is our biggest motivator for people to call in.
This is Hardy Breeding.
For more information on the fundraiser and MSPR, visit msuradio.com.
A national birth control recall affected several MSU students. NewsCenter has more on the story.
Two kinds of birth control pills that are prescribed by Caudill Health Clinic were recently recalled. The Director of Counseling and Health Services, Dr. Brenda Wilburn, discussed the effects of the recall here at MSU.
We received notice from Pfizer that some of the birth control pills that had gone out across the nation had been recalled. The reason they were recalled is because they were out of order. Some of the pills that were the inactive pills were mixed with the ones that were active, and there was no way for the company to tell which ones were which, so they did a recall on all the lot numbers.
The recalled pill cycles only affected 8 MSU students, and they were immediately notified by the Caudill Health Clinic.
As to date, all the pills have been recalled, and all the students have safe birth control pills or effective birth control pills. We did encourage students to use a non-hormonal birth control backup method during that length of time. If a student has any questions or wants to make an appointment, they can call 783-2055 to make that appointment.
Okay.
We'll be right back after the break with Haley Murphy and a quick look at weather.
Do you need a way to find new music? Tune in to WPRC. Also hosts with us, Signal in the Sky, featuring new and current independent artists. Eric Riddle's Electro World, featuring dubstep and electronica. Tanner Boyd's Laugh, a great comedy show, full of laughs and gags. Derek Moore's Moorhead Metal Vault, A headbanger's delight, loud and in your face. Tyler Mullen's Bluegrass Connection, a classic experience and instrumental tradition. WPRC, great radio-style entertainment. Tune into the show, broadcasting on Channel 77 starting at 6 p.m. Also, check us out on Facebook.
I'm so freaking bored. I cannot handle another hour of the Kardashians.
I wish we'd go bowling.
Me too.
Great.
Your wish has come true. Wilson Lanes, located inside a Laughlin Health Building on campus, has 6 lanes of pure bowling fun. And now with automated scoring. $2 per game and a $1 shoe rental. How could you pass this up?
For those students with places to go and no car, don't forget to ride your bike. Riding your bike can be a quick way to class, and it's also an enjoyable way to ride through town. Just remember to pay attention and be safe.
For over 25 years, the Kentucky Folk Art Center has provided the community with some of the finest folk art pieces amongst the region. The first floor gallery displays a periodically alternating exhibit of the center's most impressive permanent collection, as well as a wide array of unique items for sale at its gift shop, such as jewelry, sculptural pieces, alongside t-shirts. The second floor hosts several different folk art exhibits throughout the year. Visit the Kentucky Folk Art Center Monday through Saturday from 9 to 5, located at 102 West 1st Street in Moorhead, Kentucky.
Welcome back to News Center. I'm Haley Murphy. Here's a look at your weather. Maps provided by WKYT in Lexington. As you can see right now in Moorhead, it's around 57 degrees. The sun is shining, and it's much more beautiful this afternoon than it was this morning. We had a lot of rain this morning, a lot of rut roads and hard traffic, I guess, and that. But it's cleared up and it's looking good. It should stay that way tonight. Our record temperatures for today were around 88 back in 1934, so obviously nowhere near that today, but nowhere near the low either. 20 degrees back in 1944, so obviously a lot better than that. As you can see around the bluegrass, not too much going on, but there's a little bit of a storm system down here in Tennessee that could potentially move up around this weekend. Over in Bowling Green, you can see a little bit of storms as well, but those should bypass us, and we should still have a pretty weekend and a pretty night tonight. Look at our temperatures around the bluegrass. As you can see, down over here in Bowling Green, around 61 degrees. Over in London, around 59. Lexington, around 57. 58 in Frankfort, 61 in Louisville, and 56 in Ashland. As you can see around the bluegrass, it's looking pretty good, and hopefully it should stay that way into Keeneland for the weekend. We'll now take it to News Center Notices with Shelby Steele.
This week we have Brandon Walker in the studio. He is the founder of the new organization, the Sports and Business Society. Welcome to the show, Brandon.
Thank you.
Okay, first can you tell us what exactly the Sports and Business Society is?
Well, it's just an organization that we founded in November 2011 it's open for all students at Moorhead State University that could have an interest in the sport business field after college, and we just wanted to create an organization that helped us have a more well-rounded, student experience. Professional development type workshops, traveling to career fairs, learning the proper ways to network, different social networking sites, because that's really important nowadays. So interviewing tips, that kind of thing. So there's a lot of different things that we do to help us be better prepared for life after college. But that's pretty much the basis of why we got the organization going. So.
That's awesome. So what made you decide to do this organization?
Well, we, as sport business students, sport management students, we felt that the education, our degree is really important, but we felt that learning different aspects as far as going to different career fairs, networking, learning what the actual people in the industry wanted. I know there's a couple of us that went to this recent career fair in Columbus with the Columbus Blue Jackets, and we got to network with, I think, 13 to 14 corporate CEOs and national, professional organization presidents. And we got to have, you know, a 2 to 5 minute conversation with those people to see what they actually want in the industry. And I think that that's something that a lot of people don't get to benefit, is, you know, seeing what's out there other than just their education, and, you know, learning, you know, proper dinner etiquette tools, and, you know, how to really build a resume, you know, how to tie a tie. That's simple things that a lot of people don't really understand. And we feel that this is an organization that can help do those things, as well as just, you know, make us more well-rounded students for life after college.
So as the founder of this organization, what did it entail to start it? How did it come about? That was
a long process, and that was something that I didn't really know what I was getting myself into. I know I was a part of a fraternity here, Delta Tau Delta, and we, you know, just joining that fraternity was, you know, you just come in, they teach you everything that they do, but we actually had to create everything. So the first thing we had to do, obviously, is you have to, you know, obtain those members. We had to recruit, which is something I've always enjoyed, but we recruited those members. We started with a core of about 20 members. Then we had to kind of develop the governance structure. We had to create an administrative committee and an executive committee. Then we had to host elections. We had to create a constitution for the organization. We had to get an IN number so we could be a nonprofit organization with the state. Just a really long process, and we actually started in November of 2011 and just kind of finally finished everything now. So I'm really glad that we got everything turned in Esposito to make us an actual organization. But it took a really long time. I'm really excited. I'm really, you know, looking forward to what can become of this organization. I'm really not going to get the benefit from it personally, but I really feel that students, if they take advantage of this, can really benefit from it moving on to the future, sophomores, juniors in school right now. So if you were a student wanting to join, what would you do? Well, it's really not that hard. You can contact any of the members in the organization. Actually, Dr. Steve Chan, he's our advisor, which his office is on the second floor of Burke Holmes. It's, I think, 201C, something like that. It's in that second floor office with all the sport management professors. You could contact him. You can contact him. Excuse me. You can contact him via the directory on the website, email, the phone. All of his stuff's on there. So his name's Dr. Steve Chan. He would kind of put you in the right direction. I would say contact me as far as becoming a member, but with me getting ready to leave, you know, I really wouldn't be able to help a whole lot there. Cameron Hunley is another person. He's going to be pretty involved. Justin Austin, they'll be involved here in the next couple of years. So.
Alrighty, well, thank you so much for coming on the show today.
Alrighty.
And we'll be right back with another look at weather with Haley Murphy and a look at sports with Cecil Pergram.
Wonder if my package has come in. Sweet, it has.
How can I help you today, sir?
Yeah, I got a package.
What's your dorm address?
811 Cartmel.
811 Cartmel. See your student ID, please. All right.
When you got some homework and you need a place to go, when you're working on a project and your computer is slow, there's a little place on campus that I think that you should know about. The first story of the library is what I'm talking about. Walk past Java City and then you will see the new commons area is where you should be. They got computers and printers, couches, tables and more. It's the perfect place to go for study time galore.
What's wrong, dude? Second guessing that cheeseburger? Maybe you should take another look at that before you eat it.
Don't eat me!
Now how could you be thinking of eating that when really you're thinking of a slow-cooked chili-covered geodog with cheese with your selected choice of chips? Throw that thing away. Located on the first floor behind the elevator.
What about me?
Become a multimedia production major. We provide skills development for using technology to create audio and visual messages for use in all digital media. The program is designed to help students become highly marketable candidates for careers that include radio and television production, digital cinema, narrative and documentary filmmaking, news production, and audio and video production.
Eagle Trace Golf Course is just minutes from Moorhead, Kentucky, right off the Sharkey Farmers exit. Bring your friends and family for a fun and affordable round of golf. The course features a driving range, putting green, and a special discount for MSU students. Call 606-783-9073 to arrange your tee time or group outing.
Welcome back to NewsCenter. Here's another look at your weather. As you can see, currently in Moorhead, it's around 57 degrees, sunny, humidity around 55%, and winds traveling east at 14 miles per hour. It's looking like a pretty nice day for today. Warmed up a little bit, still a little breezy, a little cold, but not too bad. As you can see from our map of temperatures around the Bluegrass, over in Bowling Green, around 61 degrees. Louisville, 61 as well. Frankfort, 58. Lexington, 57. Down in London, 59. Jackson, a little bit cooler at 53. And Ashland around 56 degrees. So not too bad around the Bluegrass, staying pretty consistent, no rain or anything. So looking like a pretty good day. As you can see for this map right here, you can see that storms might come up from Tennessee overnight, but they should bypass us, shouldn't affect us too bad. There's some storms over in Bowling Green as well that might travel this way a little bit, but should avoid us and avoid us for the weekend as well, giving us pretty weather leading into Keeneland tomorrow. Take a look at our national map. You can see storms coming up from the Gulf up through Tennessee should bypass us for the weekend, like I said. Keep it a pretty good day outside and a pretty good weekend as well. A little bit of storms over in California, but not as bad as the ones coming from the Gulf. Cloud coverage you can see on the radar. Pretty heavy coming up from Tennessee as well. Hopefully that would bypass a little bit. We might see some cloud coverage going into the weekend, but should stay nice overall. Take a look at our national temperatures. You can see down there Texas looking really good, 79 and 89, so definitely a lot warmer there. Over here you can see the storms around 74, 76 degrees down south and cooling off as you come up from us with the cold weather front. So hopefully that will even out a little bit for the weekend, give us a pretty Easter weekend. Tonight it's going to be cloudy with a low of 56. Chance of frost in the morning, so plan a little extra time when you're getting ready to ice off your car. Tomorrow, clear with a high of 61. Should stay pretty sunny for the day. Warm up a lot, so as I said, people going to Keeneland for college day should have a pretty good time, not too cold, maybe just a jacket. Take a look at our 5-day forecast. As you can see, Friday is a high of 61 and a low of 35 and a sunny day. On Saturday, we have a high of 65 and a low of 45, and it's going to be a beautiful weekend. No clouds, no chance of rain. Sunday, getting a little bit cloudy for Easter, but it should stay pretty warm with a high of 66 and a low of 37. Monday, a high of 55 and a low of 35. A little bit cloudy and cooling off a little bit, and it will continue to cool off into Tuesday. We're going to see a lot more clouds, heavy cloud cover, with only a high of 52 and a low of 34. So temperatures kind of cooling down into the week, and hopefully will warm up into next weekend. So is the weather going to affect y'all's Easter's plans or Keeneland tomorrow, anything like that?
I don't think so. It looks like to me we're going to have a pretty decent weekend for some Easter egg hunting and, of course, out at the races.
It's a little cooler than we've seen over the past week, but it's still manageable, still pretty spring weather. So hopefully it'll stay that way for next weekend as well and continue to warm up after that.
As long as we're not having to deal with rain, I'm cool with it. So.
Me too. Definitely. No rain on the Easter egg hunt. We'll now take it to Cecil Program with a look at Eagle Athletics.
Your home for the Moorhead State Eagles, this is NewsCenter Sports.
Tonight, the baseball Eagles will kick off a 3-game series against OVC opponent SIU Edwardsville. Game time tonight and tomorrow is scheduled for 7 p.m. with the series wrapping up Saturday at 2 p.m. Head coach Jay Sorg is 3-6 against the Jaguars, being swept in 2009 and 2011, but returning the favor in 2010. The Eagles have some momentum headed into the series as senior third baseman Andrew Deeds began the week ranked second in the nation in hits. Closer Matt Duncan also earned his 8th save of the season Saturday, which makes him the OVC leader in saves. The MSU football Eagles held their first spring training this past Tuesday. Returning for his 19th season as head coach, Matt Ballard seemed enthusiastic about the team's spring preparation. Coach Ballard spoke regarding losing players to graduation and said this is a spring for defining roles where young players can step up. He also says that the #1 goal of the spring training is to remain healthy and have no significant injuries. The Eagles have 19 practices between April 3rd and the 27th. Regular season play kicks off on August 30th at home against Southern Virginia. The men's and women's tennis Eagles both suffered defeats at the hands of Eastern Kentucky University this past weekend. The men's tennis Eagles lost 8 of 9 matches contested and fell to 9-9 overall, as well as 2-4 in OVC play. The Lady Tennis Eagles put up a grueling fight in a 2-hour-long doubles match, but eventually dropped the point and fell to EKU. The loss put the Lady Eagles at 10-6 overall with a record of 3-2 in OVC. While both Eagle squads put up a fight in their doubles matches, the Colonels proved to be too much in singles competition. The men's Eagles will be taking the weekend off before finishing OVC play next weekend at home versus Murray State and Austin Peay. The Lady Eagles will hit the road this weekend for a pair of OVC matches against UT Martin and Southeast Missouri. And now it's time for NewsCenter's Sports Trivia. How many of the 8 losses suffered by the Eagles football team last season were by 5 points or less? A, 2, B, 3, C, 4, or D, 5? Hey, what do you think the answer is?
I'm going to have to go with C. It's right in the middle, so 4.
I really think that it was 3, so I'm going to go with 3.
I have no idea, so I'm just going to go with A.
The answer was C. They lost 4 games last season by 5 points or less. The Eagles are already, like we said, gearing up for spring practice this season, and the squad will be led by Dante Sawyer and Zach Lewis, who connected for over 900 yards and 12 trips to the end zone last season. For those that did get to see the Eagles play last season, you would know that their offense had no trouble putting points on the board, but at times the defense kind of struggled at keeping the opponents from getting points on the board. If you look back at their schedule, especially with those 5-point losses, there's about 3 or 4 games that could potentially put the Eagles at around the 6-5 mark this past season. So you know the Eagles definitely have the firepower coming into the 2012 season to make a little noise in the Pioneer Football League. Their annual MSU spring game is scheduled for April 29th. We're finishing up basketball season right now, and we just now got lucky enough for the University of Kentucky to win the Final Four. Did anybody get a chance to watch the game this past weekend?
I did watch the game, actually. I watched it outside, so it was really cool. It's a different experience.
Absolutely, I watched it. Very happy with the turnout.
I watched it too, and my mama was very excited with the outcome.
Very good. Ready to cheer on the Cats. We'll be right back after this sports calendar.
Hey man, you're not supposed to be smoking on campus. Don't listen to him, it isn't like anyone's gonna know he's smoking a cigarette. That's a really bad idea.
Remember, Morehead State University is a tobacco-free campus.
At the Kentucky Center for Traditional Music, we preserve and develop the art form and represent our cultural heritage through performance, educational outreach, and interaction with the community in the MSU service region and beyond.
The Moorhead Gaming Club sponsored a game night last week. NewsCenter's Cody Pierman has more.
Last Friday evening, the Moorhead Gaming Club held their first one-night arcade event in Breckenridge Hall. NewsCenter spoke with the president of the Gaming Guild, Andy Baker, about how the event got started.
I got this event together because I've heard a lot of people complaining there's not a lot to do. A lot of students who stick around, they're always like, there's nothing to do, nowhere to go. And I was just kind of like, all right, why not an event? Why not throw a nice gaming event? And I call it the One Night Arcade because it's inspired by G3. There was an old arcade here a couple of years back, and I was inspired by them. So I was like, okay, one night, some music, some fun, some friends, it's a bunch of games, and all these games supplied here tonight that you have seen is all supplied by people. You know, I just brought I brought like my TV, my gaming system. That was it. But it's just a bunch of fun, a bunch of board games, a bunch of friends getting together, just spending the weekend, having a good time.
This was the first time the One Night Arcade took place, and the Gaming Club is already talking about future events.
You know, if it ever picked up, I'd love to keep doing it. I hope more people get more involved, bring more games, maybe a bigger place next time. I kind of like where we're at now, but I really just enjoy it. And I didn't make any profit. The club didn't make any profit. This wasn't a fundraiser. This was just me and my computer going, everyone's talking about being bored. We have all these people with all these resources. Let's put them together and work together. And just come up with one awesome event. If you look it up on Facebook and you search it, especially if you're a student, the Moorhead State Gaming Guild, I guarantee you've at least got one friend who's in it. And if you don't, I'm sure somebody you know knows it is.
Reporting for NewsCenter, this is Cody Pierman.
The Department of Communications, Media, and Leadership Studies held its annual Moorhead Film Challenge this past weekend. NewsCenter's Sarah Burkhart reports.
The Moorhead Film Challenge was held on Monday, April 2nd, and encouraged students of all disciplines to produce a short narrative film within a 48-hour window. The challenge offered both practical filmmaking experience and a receptive audience for the participants' cinematic productions.
Right there's our boy. We'll wait till she's out of the picture and we'll take care of him.
Hardy Breeding, a returning participant in the Moorhead Film Challenge, most enjoys the creative elements of making a production.
I probably enjoyed most writing the script and visualizing how I wanted the shot composition to look, and then like actually getting to the set and watching the shots come alive as I kind of envisioned them.
Tyler McDaniel, another veteran participant to the challenge, found the emotional response from the audience to be most rewarding.
Well, there were two things that were really rewarding. The first was when we had our original 14-minute cut and realized that it was incredible. Shortly thereafter, we had to cut 6 minutes out, and that was kind of a bummer. But another most rewarding thing about it, probably the most rewarding thing about it, was just getting to show it in front of people and having the crowd react, having people laugh and clap and respond to this wonderful piece of artwork that we poured our hearts and souls into.
Ready?
Why do you have to do the walk-offs?
How else are we going to pay the rent, Jordan?
Doing this isn't going to bring her back.
You coming or not?
Is playing baseball just a waste of time?
Why would we be here if we thought it was just a waste of time?
Why do you think it's a waste of time?
Reporting for NewsCenter, I'm Sarah Burkhart.
So Shelby, this weekend's Easter Sunday. I know my family always meets at my grandmother's house and we have Easter dinner. What are your plans for this weekend?
Well, I'll probably start off by going to church, and then we always go to my grandma's and she cooks a big meal and we all get together, play games, Easter egg hunt, you know.
Well, it sounds like an awesome time.
Yeah.
Well, on behalf of Haley Murphy with weather and Cecil Pergram with sports, I'm Kyle McKenzie.
And I'm Shelby Steele. Have a great evening and a happy Easter.